Darkness here in Oakland. Lots of lights flashing here, there, and everywhere, and the crowd's still moving in. It looks like it might be a capacity throng of 19,596. While I have a chance and while it's darkened here, I'd like to tell you a story, a true story, unfortunately. Raymond Ritter was the assistant to John Black in the PR department for the Lakers for years. He's now here. In the last 8 months, of different causes, he had a brother die, he had another brother die, his daddy died, and this week his mom died. And we extend from all of us our heartfelt sorrow. Well, they're getting ready now to do the introduction of the players. Starting for the Golden State Warriors, it'll be Antoine Jamison, 6'9", a 1 forward. And a youngster, a rookie, Chris Porter, 6'7", 215 the other. In the middle, Eric Dampier, 6'11", 265. And in the backcourt, we will have Larry Hughes, 6'5", 184-pounder. Bobby Sura, Florida State, 6'5", 200 at the other guard. Dave Cowens, the head coach. Phil Hubbard, Cliff Ray, Brian Winters, and Mike Osowski are the assistants. Tom Abdenauer is their trainer. Dave Cowens was a great player in this league. Played for the Boston Celtics, as most of you know. And he is suffering through all of these injuries with the greatest of ease and patience. He knows it's got to get better, and it can't get any worse. He's got the attention of the players, the love of the players, and they're ready to go. Phil Jackson, the head man of the Lakers. Dex Winter, Frank Hamlin, Jimmy Clemens, Bill Burke assist him. Gary Vitti is the trainer. For the Lakers, it's going to be Fox and Grant up front, flanking O'Neal in the middle, Harper and Bryant in the backcourt. Porter, the rookie, and Jamison up front for the Southwest Airlines presentation of the Golden State Warriors. Sura in the backcourt, been injured most of the year, and Hughes has been playing quite well. He came out of school after his freshman year. Hughes went for 1 year to St. Louis University.
Well, the Warriors are a pretty good rebounding team, Chick. I shouldn't say pretty good, should say real good. They're first in the league in that department, averaging 46 a game. The Lakers are sixth in the league, averaging 44. And last night, Shaquille, he really did a good job in that department as he pulled down a season high of 20 rebounds to go along with 27 points.
Huey Hollins will put it up. Couple of big fellas after this ball. Shaq should get it. And he does, and he tips it way back. So far, it goes out of bounds. I would think it belongs. They're going to jump it again, they say. Going to jump it again. Looked like a pretty clean tap to me. I think they'll give it back to the white-suited Warriors, and they're going to. Definitely a good call.
Yeah, Shaq got all of that ball. The guy that throws it up, though, he can't see anything. He's defending himself.
You never throw it up with a whistle in your mouth. I did that. That's why I got a chip in this front tooth. Guy hits you in the bottom of the chin with the elbow as he goes after the ball. Porter's got the ball out of bounds. Just a kid, 6'7", 215, 22 years of age. Ball into Hughes. He's a youngster. He's 21. He'll be 22 in January. Now we got a foul called. And that means that the ball will come out of bounds to the Lakers in a very odd start.
That was the most aggressive
Foul
screen
Dampier.
I've ever seen a player set as Dampier went over and literally pushed Kobe off the floor.
Kobe Bryant with the ball is going to be guarded by Larry Hughes. Between them, they're 43 years old. Now coming to the ball right in front of us, Bryant. We're in the front row, obviously, and the ball out in front to Fox. Back to Kobe. His first shot's a 20-foot right-hander. That's good. You know it would be. Bryant shooting 47% and averaging just under 29 points a game. In his last 14 games, he shot 31 points in every game. 435 points in 14 games. Here he comes. Long legs bouncing up and down here in Oakland. He goes to the baseline and loses the ball. Little hot dog play, and the mustard came off. So the ball out of bounds to Porter.
One of the most dangerous dribbles, or the most dangerous dribble, is when anytime you dribble it right out in front of the defender, and that time Kobe lost it.
Bob Sura with the ball came into the league as first-round pick of Cleveland a few years ago. This is his first year here. There's a jump shot by Dampier, no good, and the rebound is to Harper. Harper's pretty good at bringing the ball down the floor successfully. Now the ball to Fox. He's guarded by the rookie that we talked about, Chris Porter. Now the ball in the corner of the key to Shaq. Shaq's hair is getting longer and longer. Out to Kobe. 20-foot jumper. That's no good. Rebound is up. We're getting there. We're expecting to make every shot. Jamison gets the rebound. What a player out of North Carolina. The Tar Heel. Now the ball goes in low to the big man, Dampier. Give and go. Back underneath. Block shot. Shaq not only blocked it, he kept it. And he took the ball away from Hughes. Shaq had 7 blocks last night. He just on a binge of playing perfect basketball almost. The ball out in front, and here's the Lakers with Fox handling it. And a bad pass by Fox, which is going to be a foul on Dampier, his second of the game. Boy, that comes at a bad time for a team that's already beset with injuries.
Yeah, when you get your starting center with 2 fouls in a minute and a half, you know it's going to be a long day.
Coming in is Mark Jackson, 6'10", 270 out of Temple. 25 years old. He'll be 26 in January, and Dampier goes out. Boy, injuries or whatever. This is a tough break. This guy can't play Shaq, and I like the lad very much from Temple. Had a chance to visit with him before the game, in fact. Bounce down the middle, kicking the ball is called against Jackson, and the ball comes out of bounds with 14 in the 24. We're in the first quarter.
Good thing that was kicked. Shaq had spotted the open man, was giving him a bounce.
And waiting for the ball to come in, and Fox takes it in low to Shaquille O'Neal. Single coverage down the middle, Shaq in deep. They knock it loose. They steal the ball. Real nice play by Hughes. Soares over here to the right side. Hughes goes the distance, wrapping the ball around behind his back, and his shot is blocked and knocked out of bounds. Very clever play nonetheless by Hughes.
Well, he puts it behind his back, and the veteran Ron Harper right on the spot gets the block. Ball goes out of bounds. The Warriors will retain possession.
Lakers lead it 2-0. We've played 2 minutes. There's a jump shot by Hughes at the base. Shot no good. Rebound is off taken and thrown in by Jamison. Coming off his 51-point game against Seattle. At Seattle. Seattle at the Staples Center on Friday night. Fox takes the ball over to Harper, and Harper looks and takes it in low to Shaq. Shaq against Jackson. Jackson's pretty heavy, but not big enough for Shaq. Shot no good by Shaq from 8 feet, and the rebound Jamison. And now to Hughes. Hughes in the front court to Jamison. Out of the corner at 3. He's on fire. Nice shot. They only gave him 2. They say only 2.
Yeah,
he's still on fire.
Yeah, he's
Fox
definitely
has
on
got
fire.
the ball, and Harper's got it. Harper holds it up, and the score is 4-2. The Warriors leading it. Kobe down the middle. Kobe in deep, tries to score and can't. Going to be a foul call to see if they get Porter or who. Yep, they get Porter.
Well, Porter on the front end of the help situation as Larry Hughes was defending Kobe. Kobe tries to do a little drop step, spin to the basket. Porter picks up the foul.
Kobe, one of the best free throwers in the league, has made 126 out of 141, 89%. Free throw is perfect. Kobe in the contest with 3 points. And so are the Lakers.
Kobe made 15 out of 28 and moved to 36 against the Sixers last night.
Here's the next one coming to Kobe. Free throw good. And it's Kobe 4, the Warriors 4.
Jamison
Sura coming out of the back court. Sura moves along the eastern sideline, number 3 in that white uniform. He looks inside of the post man. No chance to get it in there, so they give the ball to Hughes. Hook pass inside to Jackson. Turn and have a shot blocked by Shaq, but a foul is called. And the foul is going to be on Shaquille O'Neal, holding.
But Shaq was all over Jackson, but gets called for wrapping his left arm around the guy shooting it. That's the first time I've seen that particular foul called or play called as Shaq goes up to block it and held on.
Jackson at the line averages 3 points a game. Dave Collins, the coach of the Warriors, says to one of the referees, "Nice call, coach. I need all the help I can get." Jackson makes the free throw. As I said, averaging 3 points a game. That's only the 5th free throw he's tried this year. He makes them both, and he's made 5 out of 6 on the season.
And he has a real nice stroke.
Score 6-4. The Warriors are on top. Coming out of the backcourt, Harper. Wouldn't the Warriors love to drive a nail in the Lakers' coffin here tonight? Harper with the ball. Harper looking into Shaq. Gives out in front, and Grant turns and shoots. 18-footer, no good. The rebound to Jackson. Jackson gives the ball off to Hughes. He's their playmaker. He stops outside. 22-footer, no good. Rebound is long, taken by Kobe. Kobe's a good all-around basketball player, not just a scorer. Fox down the middle, bounce the ball to Shaq, and here is a foul call, and timeout is called. 22nd timeout. 22nd timeout on the Lakers Basketball Network.
This ESPN Classic program is brought to you.
Passing spaghetti here tonight. Art Santo Domingo and Mark Benedetti are statisticians. What's going on? All right, the Warriors have made 2 out of 8 shots. The Lakers have made only 1 out of 4. Kobe made that.
Antoine Jameson's made both of the Warriors, and
Harper
Kobe
gives the
scored
ball
all
to
theirs.
Fox. Fox takes it in on the simulcast to Shaq. Back out to Harper, and Harper takes it back in again to Shaq. Single coverage by Jackson. Bounce out in front to Kobe and over to Fox. His outside jumper is good for 3. Three-pointer by Foxy. He's pretty good at that shot. He gets rid of it so quickly. It's hard to defend. 3-pointers. He's now made 16 out of 44. Outside jumper by Shura for 3 more. That's no good. The rebound is off to Harper. The Lakers leading at 7-6 for the football score. And Harper brings the ball over here to Bryant. Bryant inside to Shaq. He's due to score. Right-hand jumper. He scores. Underneath. And the Lakers lead at 9-6 after 4 minutes of play.
Well, they better use Jackson on the offensive end to keep Shaq away from the bat. He's a good shooter from the perimeter. He should use that.
Hughes with the ball. Takes it to Sura. Sura missed a lot of the season with injuries. And now in pick and roll underneath to give the ball off. And Antoine Jameson has it knocked loose by Harper. Picked up by Grant. Great defensive play by Harper. Now we go the other way with Fox. And Fox gives it out in front to Harper. Harper, a veteran. How long? This is 15th year. Dribble drive, Kobe. Where are you going, Kobe? Bring it out to Fox for another 3. Falling down on his own accord, no. Dip in by Kobe, no. Kobe gets a rebound and throws it so hard, Shaq could not possibly catch it. I would give the turnover to Kobe.
Pretty acrobatic try there on the tip dunk by Kobe. He's under the basket, doesn't get it to go, but then gets his own rebound in, throws it away.
9-6 Los Angeles leads as we worked in the first 5 minutes of our first quarter. Now out in front, Antoine Jameson with the ball. Jameson holds it, brings it over to Hughes. He's wide open. Kobe's not there, and he hits the 20-footer. Kobe was cheating a little bit on defense, and the score 9-8. The Lakers over the Warriors. Lakers beat them the first time they played this year, and that was by 20 points. Going to the key to Shaq. Down the middle, 8-foot jumper way short. Just barely hit the rim. The rebound is off. Fighting for the ball and stepping out of bounds when he touched it last was Grant.
But just like the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq, their 1-2 punch. Jameson and Larry Hughes are the 1-2 punch for the Warriors. They've got to carry the bulk of the load.
Jameson and Hughes average 39 points a game. Kobe and Shaq average 54. Here's the ball out in front to Jackson for a 20-foot jumper. No good, and the rebound is off. Nice play, Jameson to Hughes. Get it underneath, slam dunk. That's the way to use that baseline. Score 10-9, the Warriors. Harper has the ball in the front 47 feet. Now the pass knocked out of bounds by Hughes, and he's looking real good in this first quarter. Real good.
One of the things you like to do with teams that are struggling a little bit, take the life out of them early as Larry Hughes goes to the basket. Nobody steps over, so he just hammers it home.
Ball out of bounds to Fox in front of the Laker bench. Brings the ball into Harper. Harper the dribble and shoots a 20-footer after a suicidal try for the steal by Sura. Sura tried to make the steal in the inbound pass and got burned. And the Lakers take the lead again, 11-10. We're about halfway through the first 12. Sura to the dribble. S-U-R-A. Out in front of the rookie, Porter. And he drills a 2-pointer. Chris Porter out of Auburn. 2 years at Auburn. He averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds. Now the ball to Fox out in front, trailing by a point. In low to Grant. He's there. He puts it up. He puts it in. Grant. Nice pass by Fox.
Nice cut also.
And now we've got a blocking foul. Blocking foul called against Harper in the backcourt. And we got a timeout called.
5:55 to go in the first quarter. Lakers on top by 1. It's the Lakers 13, the Warriors 12 on the world champion Lakers Basketball Network.
13-12, the Lakers leading the Warriors. There's the ball out in front of Jameson. He's got 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 points. Same as Kobe. Good drive, Sura underneath. Spin move, no good. Rebound, Jameson underneath. Puts it up, gets it blocked by Shaq. And out of bounds it goes. Shaq gets another block shot.
Well, Shaq continues to patrol the inside and make sure that teams don't get easy opportunities without some resistance.
Records for most points in a quarter in the NBA, 58. That was Buffalo at Boston back in '72. Imagine McAdoo was in that. And tonight, the Clippers trailing 62-39 going to the fourth quarter at Washington and make 54 points. Wow, to win the game. Inbound pass. Hughes has got it in a 20-foot jumper. It's good. And it's 14-13, the football score. And the Lakers missed the point after.
Well, leading rebounding team in the league, showing why they get another offensive attempt.
Ball in front of us to Fox, and Fox takes it in low to Shaq. Shaq playing against Marshall. Pass underneath, and he give and go to Fox. He's under there, puts it up, they knock it down, he picks it up, puts it in. Nice second effort by Foxy. He thought he was fouled in the first one. He's complaining about it. And the Lakers lead by 1 single point. 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. 14-15 the score. Jamison fouled out in front. Easy play to call against Harper, slapping him on the arm. Harp's second foul might put him on the bench. The Lakers are not playing very sharp basketball. They might be looking ahead to Seattle Friday night. They better not. They might go in there with an L instead of a W. Porter brings the ball in to Hughes. Quick little guy, dribble drive. Likes to do things with the basketball. Jamison does too. Carry a three. He missed it, and the rebound is to Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq in the rebound department now with 2. And the ball in the front court goes to Harper. Harper brings it out. Oh, to Kobe, almost intercepted by Hughes, and Kobe hits a 20-footer. There's a 4-point switch right there in negative.
A fingernail away from having an easy deuce. 17-14.
The Lakers leading it by 3. And Kobe Bryant with the ball in the front court has 6 points to lead the Lakers. Sura outside for 3. Oh, he banked it in. That's how bad he missed it. He didn't try to bank it, folks. He banked it in.
That was the ugliest 3 I've seen in a while.
I'll say we're tied at 17. He took one announcer that I know about by surprise. Here's the ball, Grant to Kobe Bryant to Fox. Rick holds it over his head. Former North Carolinian takes it into Shaq. Shaq holds it, brings it out to Fox. Gets that quick 3 up. No good this time. The rebound into the basket. And here we go. Hughes has got the ball. Hughes in the middle. He's still going down the middle. He's going all the way. Lay it in left-handed. Nice play. They score 5 points in a row to take the lead by 2. That's 8 points for Hughes. Hughes in this ball game missed his first 3 shots. He's made his last 4. Kobe misses a 3-pointer out of the corner. That's no good, and the rebound is off. And here come the Warriors being energized. Bounce down the middle. Slam dunk. And a great pass from Sura to Mark Jackson. Beautiful play.
Good job by Jackson of changing ends as well. He took off and did a good job of beating down the court.
7-0 in this run in a hurry for the Warriors, and they lead it by a score of 21-17. Kobe outside, dribble down the middle, draws the crowd. Shot is blocked by Jackson, they say. Comes off, and Harper, 17-footer, no. Rebound is off. And a nice work job out there by Chris Porter, the rookie. Took it away from Kobe. Sura, baseline to Hughes. Pass in low for the hook shot of 8. And that's Jamison that makes that. And the Lakers call a much-needed timeout, trailing on the scoreboard, getting the crowd to stand 23-17.
Well, this crowd's into it. This Warriors really playing good team basketball, and it's showing on the scoreboard. They lead it 23-17 on the world champion Lakers Basketball Network. Horace Grant. For the Warriors, Anton Jamison led all scorers with 19. Larry Hughes had 10, and Bob Sura had 9. As a team, the Lakers made 25 out of 46, 54%. The Warriors were even better. The same 46 shots, they made 28. That's 61% from the field. Rebounding the Lakers by 3, 20-17. Not a lot of rebounds to be had when you shoot that high. Fast break points is where the Lakers are getting dominated, 16-2. And the Warriors outscoring them in the paint even 36-22.
The surprise to me is that Isaiah Ryder, who grew up in this area, did not get in the game in the first half. Neither did Devin George, the only 2 Laker players that did not play. Want to keep an eye on that.
Also keep an eye on the Laker defense to start this third quarter, see if they can get back to the type of defense that they're known for, especially the type that they played last night against Philadelphia.
The Lakers come in with the best scoring average in the league, 101 points a game, give up 97. The locals score only 92 points a game and give up 99. But that's not the case yet tonight. All right, the ball is into Kobe. And the Lakers have put first possession here. Let's see what happens. Kobe within the front court, terminate the dribble and give the ball to Harper on the simulcast. Out in front once more to give it to Fox. In low to Grant. Back out to Fox. Now to touch pass to Harper and low to Shaq. Shaq backing in. Better do something, guys. Underneath to Kobe. That's the something you need. Right there. Nice pass by Shaq. Good posting up by Kobe if he wasn't called for 3 seconds. Here's the ball loose. 3 ball. Everybody's diving. Nobody got a supporter. Sura for 3. Got it.
Well, Rick Fox, after diving for that ball, comes up a little bit lame on that right wrist.
He hit the floor very hard right in front of us. Tried to protect his fall with the right arm. And the Lakers trail at 50. Boy, that scoreboard's bad up there. It makes a 5 out of a 6. Anyway, let's look at the other one. 66-59 the score. And here's a whistle.
Illegal D.
And the ball will come out of bounds. The illegal defense called against the youngster. Pretty good looking rookie. And his name is Chris Porter.
And they've switched and put Porter.
Jump shot, Kobe. 3-pointer out of the corner. Kobe opens up with 5 straight points to get the second half underway. And the Lakers trail it by a score of 66-62. Only one scoreboard here is of any use to us until they get off of that 6, because there's something up there that blocks 2 of the small bulbs and makes it a 5. Now Hughes down the middle. Roll up. No good. Tough luck. Rebound is off. Shaq got the rebound. Front court, Harper. Harper holds it up and brings it over to Grant for the 20-footer. That's good. He made 2 of those in the first half. And that forces the timeout by the Warriors. The score 66-64. The Lakers are behind. On the Lakers 22nd timeout. A 22nd timeout. This is the Lakers Basketball Network.
How hot Kobe's been. And Anton Jamison's last 6 quarters, a game and a half, he's had 70 points. Shot 65% from the field.
The Lakers in his last 14 games has averaged 31 points. Not counting tonight. He's led him in scoring 9 of the last 10. Looks like he might lead him again tonight. He's opened up with 5 points here to start this quarter and pull the Lakers to within 2. Hughes gives the ball to Sura down the middle of the dribble. Over the far sideline, set. Jamison gets a 3-pointer. Isn't he a beautiful offensive player? Wow.
What I like about him recently, Chick, is his patience. He's not doing things too quickly. He's doing a good job of reading.